Yeah, I did the same for Echoes of Wisdom
Mhm.
that came out recently. I saw people commenting on the lore of like the story of the game
Mm-mm-mm.
a week after its release, and I was like, No, this is a fun little Zelda game. I'm not going to no life to finish it. It's
Right, right.
And I finished it like 1 month or 2 months after everyone else,
Mhm.
and people were already like retrospective of this game. Second, I'm like, I just finished it. It was fun. It's a f- and people were like, hey, it's the worst reviewed Zelda ever. Uh, and I'm like, yeah, it's not supposed to be the next Tears of the Kingdom. It's a GBA game for the next generation, you
Mm-mm.
know? And
Also,
instead
I
of
really doubt that's true. There have been some bad Zelda games in the past. Let's not pretend like this is the worst
yeah,
rated one.
no, they were saying like for the past 15 years or something.
Okay, sure. If you want to
Yeah,
give that
yeah.
criteria, because yeah, I guarantee if you go back, I'm
Yeah,
sure you
yeah.
can find a couple of things in there.
Yeah,
Um,
Zelda 2 it was
mhm, mhm.
even Nintendo is like this game never happened. But I think we need to praise little, like Nintendo is one of the last big players who is putting out little experiences like
Right,
this.
right.
You have Sony making like spending hundred of millions of dollars on remakes.
Well, no, just no. Remakes are one thing. Remakes
No,
of games from
remasters.
no well, whatever remasters, remakes of games from the prior generation that you
Yeah,
can
yeah, yeah,
play
yeah.
on the PS5 because it's a PS4 emulator.
Yeah, like okay, yeah, 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 like the Horizon
Yeah, yeah, that's the
one.
worst offender.
I think we need to praise when a big player like this does make a little game that is
Mhm.
not supposed to be the next big thing, and that is supposed to be played like uh in the transit, in the public
Right.
transport and stuff like that. And yeah, yeah, the Horizon, that's funny because I got in a Steam sale during the summer, I
Mhm.
got Horizon Zero Dawn, the
Mhm,
first
mhm.
one, and I was able to play it with all the PC improvements, with the foliage that is
Mhm.
moving and stuff like that, and it was really beautiful. And I was like, "Whoa, that's so cool! I can have better graphics than if I had a PS5, PS4, PS5."
Mhm.
And then I was like, "Hey, that's in not really different from a game that will come out today because they added patches to, and then they make a full remaster of the game, and I'm like, why would I ever buy this?
Right. Right.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I miss the days where the giant studios would make these random small experimental titles. Like, we can talk, Ubisoft back when they were doing Prince of Persia or Assassin's Creed in its very early days. Like, Assassin's Creed, they didn't know that was going to succeed. The first
Yeah.
game was really weird. Also, the main character was voiced by an American, even though everyone else had a very obvious Middle Eastern accent. I don't know why the main character was American. Don't think about it. Not very important. Um,
But they did do a Prince of Persia, a little Prince of
the
Persia.
the issue with that one is, oh, uh, wait, that did what happened? Okay, that'll probably fix itself in a moment. What I was gonna say
Okay.
about Prince of Persia is it's probably a really good game. The issue is the market of Metroidvania games is it's very different than it once was, right? Like Metroidvania is now the indie category. People have a
Yeah.
price in mind for what a Metroidvania is going to cost. So
But
if you charge
but
like a
yeah,
AAA
but
game,
the
yeah,
best thing in this story is they shut down the team.
right, right. Well,
So they
what was the Microsoft Microsoft shut down the studio of a really popular game, Hi-Fi Rush, that one.
Hi-Fi Rush, yeah. So yeah, they made a small experiment. Like, this was not the next big Prince of Persia. That was the, yeah, like you said, the Metroidvania. It's a saturated indie market.
Mhm.
They tried to make one, and people, I think I saw reviews. People liked it. It
Yeah,
was but no, they look at the numbers and they said no, it did not reach expectation.
right,
Uh,
right.
Closing down the team. And yes, same thing. Hi-Fi Rush. It's They even themselves said it was above expectations, and they shut down the team.
Yeah, and I think this is the problem you have with these studios. They're so big that if something isn't a breakout success, it's basically deemed a failure. And I don't know how much longer that can really go on for. Like it
And they expect all the games to be a breakout success.
right, right.
And
And
they are putting a lot of money to try to get there. and and that's why I was saying, I think we need to praise Nintendo, because they're all the other studios, the big players. I think they are really going to their, like, is Microsoft going to have a next console?
Microsoft's a
I'm
weird
not
one
sure.
because
And
like they've
yeah,
made
because they
every
have the
they
Game
do everything
Pass.
on they remember they owned Windows.
Yeah, but it's so costly. All their projects is so costly.
Right.
And then when it fails, they have people that studied for years and years marketing, and draw the wrong conclusions on why it failed.
Right.
Warner Bros said, we need more live. After the Suicide Squad, they said
That's
we need to
all.
double down on live service games.
I think
After
that
the success of Hogwarts Legacy.
yeah, there is a high possibility that Suicide Squad is being shut down after the next season. They during the Black Friday Steam sale, they sold it at $2.99, and I think they did get a player base boost by like 1,000 people. Because look, it's $3, right? Like, you heard about this game for so long, it's bad.
Yeah,
It's $3, sure, might as well, but that's
yeah,
not how
yeah,
you like keep a game going.
yeah. We did not even talk about Concord, but I'm not sure we need to add
Well,
on that
yeah,
fire.
yeah,
But yeah,
Concord. Well, then you have other games where they just release like Concord at least was not a buggy game. It's just a game people didn't like. Games like Redfall came out and it just wasn't finished.
yeah. But again, there is so much. If Concord was a small experiment, w- they 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 bet on those projects, as if, like, try to start small. Where is the Concord one?
Well, yeah, they
Where is the
thought
small where is the small Concord game that people ended up enjoying? So then you make Concord 2, and people really like it, and then you make Concord 3, and then you spend
right,
$400
right,
on that one, because everyone knows the characters for the past 3 games. They all have their favorite. They line up to get it. You're making the 5th game of the franchise. No one ever seen your in universe
right.
or
You're
anything
trying to
like that.
make Baldur's Gate 3 before you've made anything else.
Exactly. Why are you
Like, they
doing
thought it was
this?
going to be a giant cinematic universe. If you look at like their like project release schedule, they had a comic plan. They had multiple comics planned. They've got an episode in that secret level series that's coming out. They've
Yeah.
got like they have 4 seasons planned. The characters in secret level, none of them are in the game. So that secret level episode was going to be an ad for their new season where they're going to add those new characters, right? Like they were
I
trying
didn't
to
know
do
that.
like Infinity War without doing any of the other movies.
And without any comics,
Right,
without
right. Like
any.
they didn't have, 80 years of Marvel comics. They were just like, "Oh yeah, let's just do it just by
But
itself."
then, as we said, to make the first game of the series that would maybe be a 2D pixel art game,
Mhm.
you need to invest a really small amount of money on a really small team
Mhm.
that you need to micromanage, and that will not give you a, a constant stream of revenue. And so you cannot really talk about it in the investor meeting
Mhm.
about that small project.
Right,
So I
right.
think that's why. But then, um and yeah, so coming back to achievements and
Mhm.
finishing games and stuff like that, I think in the in the in the past, players uh were just having one game for Christmas.
Mm.
Like, some players still do, like children still do, but
We
us, when
then
we
like a
were,
lot. You say that, but a lot of them only play like there's so many good free to
yeah,
play
free
games
to
now. That's the
play, yeah,
difference.
yeah, yeah.
Like you could be a 10-year-old and play Genshin or Fortnite or Marvel Rivals just
Roblox.
came out. Roblox,
Roblox.
yeah. And like
But
like these are all free, and like you could play these games for thousands of hours.
yeah, for sure. But when we were children,
Mm.
you had one game, and achievements were the only way to get some more content out of those games. And I think some players kept that habit,
Mhm.
even if they have a gigantic backlog of games because of some still sales. And as you said,
There was some of those.
if you don't enjoy grinding the achievements,
Mhm.
you're an adult. You have a big catalog of games. They are free to play. Go try something else.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing about that Path of Exile. That is also free to play. Um, um, but I think the issue you also have with people is okay. So if you sit down to play a game, and then on your second monitor you have a live stream open, and then on your other monitor you have a YouTube video open, and you're in a Discord call, and then you got your game on the main monitor, like, look,
Yeah,
you're not in a
yeah, yeah.
situation to enjoy a game. Like, yeah, there are some games where they're basically like effectively just like background noise. A game like Web Fishing, if you've played that or heard of that, where
I heard of it. Yeah.
yeah, for anyone who hasn't, it's a very simple fishing game. You just stand at a
Or,
river,
or
you fish.
Tetris 99 or stuff like that.
Sure. Um, but if it's a game like
Hellblade.
Hellblade, you game like Kingdom Hearts 3, a game like Black Myth Wukong, if you're just giving the game like 10% of your attention,
You're
you're never going to enjoy it.
ruining. You're ruining it.
Right.
And
I watch my
yeah,
housemate play games. He's like watching a live stream. He's got the game in windowed mode on his on his like secondary monitor. So the game's not even on his main monitor. So he's got the stream over here, the game over here. Like what? Like, yeah, you're not going to enjoy the game.
and I think that's the reason why we have a big back catalog like this, because I have a lot of games where I'm like, when I will have time to sit down and play it properly, that will be a good game.
Mm.
So I almost never do that. I almost never just sit down, stop listening to a podcast or stuff
Mhm.
like that. So I have like Near Automata,
Amazing
piling
game.
with Hellblade. Like, all the games are started. I did the tutorial part, and I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to to play them
Mhm.
some days, someday. Yeah.
Yeah.